Hello everyone, you are welcome to my YouTube channel Study Maths with Asif. So friends, before starting the video, I request you press the like button and share it with your friends and other students. Also, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the latest videos. So this video is an continuation to the previous video on limits, where you see this definition, or you can call this a video as part 2 of my previous video on limits. If you have not watched that video yet, I give you the link in the description box below, also above on the I button. You can find the link on the I button as well. Now let's talk about the content of this video. Here I will discuss left hand limits and right hand limits. So before starting the discussion, let's recap. What did I discuss in the previous video? I discussed how does the function approach the limit even though the function was not defined at the point. See, it is mentioned in the limits. Function is not defined at the point x. See, it is mentioned here. That is, what do I mean to say by saying so? Now please look at, let x goes to c. We consider the values of the function when x is close to c. That is, values of x may be greater than or less than c, but not equals to c. Here we talk about limit of the function. Let us see this with the help of the real line. If I draw the real line, say for example this is the real line, I am drawing it. Now say it is the point where the function is not defined, mind it. So I write here c plus delta and I write here c minus delta. So when you approach c from the left, so this is the points which we consider, and these points are less than c. When we approach c from the right, these are the points which we consider, these are greater than c. So we call this as left hand limit, and we will calling this as right hand limit, because we will be giving the points in parts. Either these points will be given or we will be given these points. And this is for delta when delta is small. Please understand this. So if the value of the function equal to the function, so there is no fun actually. So I am assuming the case where the function is not defined, right? Then we are calculating the limits. All right. So clear. Now we are given only one direction. Either we are given this direction, this c minus delta or c plus delta. Either we are giving this direction or this direction, right? If we are giving this direction, that means the values of x are considered less than in this case. Right, and we call this as we are approaching c from the left. Similarly, when you approach the point from the right, then we consider the point which are greater than this point. Now let's talk about the first case, that is limit from the left, or we call it the left hand limit. So to discuss the left hand limit and right hand limit, let's modify this definition. Modify means here we are considering both the points. When you approach c from the left and from the right. But when we talk about left hand limit and right hand limit, so I will modify this definition. Means when I consider the left hand limit, so I will consider this case only. When x is here, or when consider the right hand limit, then I will consider this case. Right. So which case, this x plus delta and this delta, right? In this way I will discuss this left hand limit and right hand limit. So now let's talk about the limit of a function, right, which is you see on the screen, because I will not discuss the limit of the function, rather I will discuss left hand limit. So let's see this is left hand limit. So here you see function f is said to tend to a limit, right, as x tends to c. Please keep in mind x may not define at c, right, from the left if there, right, if for each epsilon positive, so each means we have to pick up the value of epsilon by our own, then there exists delta positive, so such that we can write this by the definition when x lying between c and c minus delta, right? So see, x approaches to c from the right, so I'm writing this c minus fxl. So this is called left hand limit. So what more which we need to understand here, this thing c minus delta and c, these values will be considered to talk about the limit from the left. You are approaching c from this direction only, right? I will discuss the question based on it, then you will understand it better. Now let's talk about the right hand limit at the same time. So you see on a screen, now this is the right hand limit. In the same fashion, right, we can define the right hand limit, but here it is right, not left. So set to tend to L as x tends to c from the right, right? So symbolically we write this x goes to c plus. So now the points you see, this is c and it is c plus delta. So these points, right, I will consider when you approach to c, because you are coming from the right direction. Only this direction we have to talk about. So it will be written in this way. So either you write in this way or symbolically you can write this in this way. Don't forget to mark this plus. It represents the point which are greater than c. In the previous case the points are less than c. So this is right hand limit, and earlier I was talking about this left hand limit. So when both the limits exist and equal, then we say the function is right having the limit at that point. So you can note it in the remark. It may be noted that limit of the function exists if and only if both left hand limit and right hand limit exist and equal. This is very important to know when we talk about whether the limit of the function exists or not in terms of left hand limit or right hand limit. Now in order to better understand this idea, now let's talk about some examples so that we can appreciate how to deal with left hand limit and right hand limit, right? So I am taking this example to make you understand. So I am taking this typical example, fx equals to mod x minus 4 upon x minus 4, right? So you see, it is possible when this is not equal to 4, when this is equal to 4 and the value of the function is 0, right? So now when you see the solution of it, for that I need to define this modulus function, because without the modulus function you cannot talk about specifically the behavior of this function. So when you write this in terms of modulus function, so this gives this result, right? Now when you approach to 4 from the right, means you are considering the point which are greater than 4, right? So greater than 4 means this portion of the function will be considered, or this branch of the function will be considered. So denominator will remain fixed, so in numerator you will have plus x minus 4. So this is 1 actually. You can take this when these are not the point which are equal to 4. So always you can cancel it. So this will be 1. Moreover, when we are considering the point less than 4, so now symbolically we can write this as x goes to 4 minus, means x approaching to 4 from the left, right? So here we have to put the value of the modulus from here when x is less than 4, put this value, and this is the denominator. You can solve it, so this will be minus 1. So finally the limit from the left will be minus 1. So from the right we obtain 1, from the left we obtain minus 1. So that means what? Left hand limit exists, right hand limit also exists, but these are not identical. That means what? Finally the limit of the function does not exist. So in this way we can calculate the limit of the function, right? So I stop here now. In the next video I will discuss the limits at infinity and more, right? So stay connected with this channel. I request you again, please press like button, share this video with your friends and other students. If you are new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon for the latest videos. Now I'm leaving. I will meet you again in the next video. By then, bye bye, take care, thank you.